Yo, 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 LOLeros. This episode of Latinos Out Loud is brought to you by McDonald's, proudly serving communities since 1965.
Wow, and if you're a listener of our show, you know that we absolutely love McDonald's.
Love McDonald's, Jamie, love.
Yeah, look, McDonald's was like my fast food crush when I was in grade school, okay?
Oh, cute.
Yeah, I used to scribble like I heart McDonald's on my notebooks. Yeah, it was a little weird. But look, we love McDonald's for plenty of reasons, right? You know, because like the Big Mac can cure even the grumpiest of moods. When I'm in a bad mood, I'm not gonna lie, I have a Big Mac, all of a sudden, I have a big mood shift. It's like I'm rewarding myself after a long day, and I deserve it.
You do deserve it, Jamie, and I see you. Big Mac equals big mood shift. I see you.
Yeah, we're making breakthroughs today. But today, look, we want to talk about another huge reason why we all love McDonald's. It's because when we're there, the crew members truly make us feel like we're right at home and part of their McDonald's community.
They sure do. Jamie, can I share a quick McDonald's story?
I was hoping you would.
Oh, thanks. I love the anticipation. So, I'm a mom out there in the streets, and we be rolling up in the McDonald's of Spanish Harlem, and I have to give a big shout out to Stephanie, because little man be paying for McDonald's, and, we like to bypass the kiosk, because the kiosk is a little impersonal, and I want them to learn the manners, waiting for food, paying for stuff. So she always loves it when they roll up to the counter and they pay, because, they're looking for somebody eye level, but then she looks down and sees my little people paying for their own Happy Meals, and it's a really cute and endearing moment, and it's also educational. So shout out to everybody in Spaha McDonald's, you know what I'm saying, Jamie?
And look, whether you have that one crew member who always remembers that you like your Big Mac with an extra pickle, or the crew member who always greets you in the drive-thru with a warm smile, or, Anna Stephanie who hooks up you and your kids like Rachel has. We just want to thank you, McDonald's crew members everywhere, for making our McDonald's visits even more special.
Gracias. McDonald's, I'm loving it. It's the Latinos Out Loud podcast. That's my elf because I know we're nearing Christmas, so I'm gonna start talking like an elf. Ugh. Also, the elf on the shelf is coming back, which I gotta say, I'm not thrilled about. Anyone else out there not so excited about the return of the elf on the shelf? That little critter. Hi, guys. Hi, it's the Latinos Out Loud podcast. Yup. And it's beginning to look a lot like a podcast. It's also beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I'm definitely in the spirit, and boy, do I have a gift for you today. LOLeros, te tengo a ti un regalo. Okay, and it's not pastelón or pasteles or coquito. No. It's podcast coquito, actually. It's audio gold. And I had such a fun time with Fernando Carsa. You guys know him from Acapulco, which is in season 2 right now on AppleTV Plus, okay? It's really exciting to talk to these people. I made such good friends with the cast of Acapulco. And that may be one-sided. They may not be calling me a friend, okay? I'm not sure. I may be that crazy girl from the LOL podcast to them. But to me, those guys, the cast, they're my friends. I had such a good time on the press junket for Acapulco. You guys remember I talked about being in 4 different Zoom rooms with 2 of them paired up in each room. So I spoke to a total of 8 cast members. Yeah, that episode. Go dial back to that episode if you need a refresh. That's one of the good things about a podcast, that our episodes, they'll always be there for you. Okay? I will always be there for you. No matter what. I'm just a click and a download away. Just remember that. Okay, so with Acapulco, we're now seeing that the lovely cast would like to come back and talk one-on-one. You guys know we spoke to my boy, Rafael Cebrian. Shout out to Rafael. And we got to talk to Fernando Carsa one-on-one. And what an amazing spirit. What an amazing human who is making some bold choices, not only for himself, but for all of us. For all of us, Latino AEIXYZ.com/orgs. For all of us. So I really want you to listen to this episode. Check out the interview with Fernando Carsa. And when you're done with that, go check out Acapulco if you haven't done that already. It is so funny. So funny. Shout out to Trepa Studios, Eugenio Derbez, and everyone over there. And I'm really excited. Shout out to Jordan Rubio. Got to shout out Jordan. Jordan! Rubio Draws. Check him out on Instagram. All right, guys. Listen to this. It's amazing and fun. All right? I'll see you in a few. Okay, you guys, this is the part of Latinos Out Loud, the show that you've tuned into. This is the part of the show where we interview someone amazing. Okay, I say that every time we interview a guest, Fernando, but I truly mean it. And I swear this one is going to be fun because I already kind of know your vibe, which is amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard his voice a little bit. You may recognize his voice, or if you're on YouTube, his face from Acapulco. Please put your hands together for the amazing and talented Fernando Carsa! Woo! Yes, please.
That was
trumpets.
a great introduction.
Sound the trumpets and the harps, please. Wait for it. The harps are going to come in any moment. I just asked for some harps on the Latinos Out Loud podcast. Do we not have a budget for harps? I don't understand this.
Do we got a little cumbia though instead, or some mariachi?
Yeah. I love it. I love that you're so musical. If memory serves correctly, when I tuned into the press junket for Acapulco, you were mid-song with your castmate. And then I just jumped in because I felt the need to. We were doing Zoom karaoke for a few minutes, and it was the time of my life. Fernando, thank you for coming back to the Latinos Out Loud podcast. How are you?
Oh, first of all, thank you for having me. I love this so much. I love you guys so much. And I'm really happy. I love you guys. No, but I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy about the second season finally being out, and we're almost a little past halfway through. So a lot of good things are happening in this almost end of 2022, which is really exciting.
That is so exciting. Now, you play Memo on Acapulco, and this is a really funny show, you guys. I have spoken about Acapulco on Latinos Out Loud for a number of episodes, but that's because I feel like I'm familia. I got to know you guys, okay? And Rafael came back. Like, you guys are coming back individually, which I love. I'm like, come join us. Come and talk to us more about. So, like, the season came out in October. What have friends and family and loved ones been telling you about season 2 of Acapulco?
I think that what they're most excited about, I mean, it's funny because the fans of the show are really loving the storylines and how each individual storyline is developing. But of course, my family is obsessed with the fact that they're letting me dance this season, and that I get to like have a lot of wins. Like my character gets to win a lot in this season. And I feel like my Memo came into his own in this season, and I finally found him. Like the first season, it was a whole like process of finding out who Memo was and his mannerism, physicality, etc., etc. So ya lo tengo this season, ya lo pude agarrar. And I think that people just were so overwhelmed to finally see who this human is.
Speaking of who this human is, what did you learn about this human after season 2 of Acapulco in hindsight? And I ask you about two humans, actually, Memo and Fernando.
Ooh, what did I learn from him? Okay, so from Memo, that's a deep question because
it is, right? Wow.
It's really deep because I've been very lucky to play characters who have taught me a lot about myself, more than I feel like I could have ever learned elsewhere. But the thing about Memo is this season, I feel like he's always being a very subconsciously confident person. But this season, he became consciously confident. Like in the last season, he would say things without thinking, and there were a lot of self-confidence in his statements. But this season, he's like, no, this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to do to go get it. So that's why I call it more consciously confident. And I feel like, I mean, overall, the character has always taught me to embrace myself. And it's been very helpful because seeing how the audience reacts to this plus size, confident,
Yes,
sensitive
body
kid, yeah,
posy people. Do
it
people
has
still
helped
use
me
that
so
term?
much.
I just want to like throw that out. I don't know if that's still a term, but I
I
love
don't know.
seeing us.
Yeah, I mean, I still use it because I think that what I try to lead with is we need to stop equaling size to health or unhealthy ones, and two, we need to love our bodies regardless of whatever journey they're on. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I still use body positivity, and I use a lot of body acceptance still. I mean, that's the term that I use a lot too. And that's what Memo has taught me. You know, I feel like once I started seeing how people were accepting him, I was able to accept myself more. And as Fernando, because I was able to lean in so much into Memo's confidence, I started leaning on more towards my acceptance and confidence in real life. So I finally started wearing what I wanted to wear. Like the first season, I was very careful to stay on brand with the character so people could recognize me and see me and
What does
always
that
be
mean?
reminded.
Break that
um
down. What was on brand for the character?
well, so basically, it is a term that you hear a lot when you're going to school for theater. You know, like you have to make everything around you remind people of the product that you're offering. So, you know, Memo's really sweet, really innocent, really like naive and whatnot. So, in every event that I was doing or press junket, everything was very like clean and nice and very just like proper and just looking nice and clean, basically. That's and not too out there. Um, but then when the second season arrived and I went through my whole journey with the character, and then I also did a movie that helped me with this personal journey as well at the beginning of the year.
Would that be At Midnight, which we're going to
That would
talk
be at
about in another
midnight.
few seconds? Okay, wait,
Yes, yes,
pause,
yes.
pause. We'll go back.
But going through that journey, by the time that I got to like the time of the year, because I usually half of the first year I'm filming, and then the second half is my whole taking care of my career slash brand, where I do the photo
Ooh.
shoots and the reaching out to outlets and whatnot. And that's when my creative mind comes in a little bit. That's when I was like, F this. I don't have to look good or nice or clean or anything. I just have to be myself, you know, and part of my brand or who I am as an individual is embracing my sexuality and my body and who I truly am inside. So I had this explosion and commotion that just came
Yes.
from within me. And now everything I do, I'm wearing glitter and makeup and high heels.
Yes. Well, what a bold choice and what a decision to really
Yeah.
bring that to the surface. I'm sure there are other little Fernanditos out there that are just like, thank you for doing that
It's
because now I can see me, more of
and
me.
that's exactly why, I mean, of course I'm also doing it because I've always dreamt of expressing myself in this way, and that was an important thing to me. Like I'm also giving a tribute to my inner child who did not feel comfortable doing these things, you know.
Mm.
But I do think about the response that the audience is going to have, or the impact that my behavior or my decisions is going to have, you know what I mean? And that's exactly what I want. Like to me, it's really important that kids nowadays have what I didn't have when I was young. I didn't have anyone to look up to except a lot of women who I still
Mm.
loved. You know, all my inspirations are women, but no one that looked like I do or spoke like I do. So that's very important to me because I am so tired of Hollywood and media selling this narrative that people that look like me do not belong in this industry and cannot make their dreams come true. And I'm here like to prove people that that's not the case anymore, that things are
Right.
changing, and we're gonna keep fighting to break down those walls.
If you could just put yourself on display, like in the Smithsonian or something, for people to see that this can happen, you know what I'm saying? But that probably wouldn't be
Yes.
safe. You probably couldn't breathe well, like in an encased thing in the
Can you
Smithsonian.
imagine
But
just me like
It would be you and a few other icons or icons in the making that are also breaking the barriers in this space. Before we talk about At Midnight, because we
Mhm.
have a lot to discuss, you mentioned something that I would love to delve into a little bit deeper, which are your female inspirations.
Yes.
Whom are some of them? Could you share with the Latinos Out Loud podcast?
I call them my top four. So there's
Ooh, I
four.
love a list.
Well,
I love a
technically
good
it's
list.
five. Technically
Okay,
it's five.
it could be
And the
10. I
first
love
one,
lists. Go
oh,
for it.
perfect. The first one and the top one will always be. People think I'm gonna say Britney
Grrr,
Spears, but it's not. It's my mom.
grrr. Oh, your
It's my
mom.
mom. My mom, I've never talked about this, but I feel like it's really important to talk about
It sure
because my
is.
mom has been through hell and back throughout her life. Like, she is the strongest, most powerful, independent, smart, intellectual I met in my whole life. And
Amazing.
what's so cool about her, and my favorite thing about her, is that she's been through so much this year, and still she's the person who will always make you laugh. I'm not gonna go too much into detail, but when I was like 2 or so, she went through a near death experience, and she said that what she learned from that is that every day is worth living, and she makes every day worth living. And she's been my number one supporter since day one. Like, she that's why when I've been doing events this year, like when I did my first red carpet, she was my very first plus one. When I did my first award ceremony, she was my very first plus one,
Qué
because she
lindo.
deserves that spot, because she is like my biggest inspiration and muse, and my biggest supporter.
But they know the life, right? Because your parents are also in showbiz, right?
They
Or were they?
were when they were younger.
Oh, okay, okay. That's so interesting. The apple, the manzana, doesn't fall
No,
far from the tree. Okay, so more of your female muses and inspirations because and I
okay,
love that you put mom at number one. I'm a
of
mom
course.
and I am proudly raising two mama's boys. They are going to be mama's
Yes.
boys till I'm no longer on the earth. We could talk about this all day. I want to hear about more about the
Yes.
female inspirations. Are some of them actors and comedians? Like who led you down this career pathway? I'm so curious.
The first one is, I feel like a lot of Latinos would know it. Her name is Tatiana, La Reina de los Niños. She's this like Latina singer who's been in the industry for over 34 years, who wears a star on her torso, and she writes music for kids. I discovered her back when I was like 2 or 3. And when I saw her on screen, she sings, dances, and acts. And she used to have a TV show every Sunday. I was like, that's what I want to do with my life. So my
Wow.
parents would buy me her CDs, and I would sing and dance to her music in the backyard. And when people would ask me, what do you want to do when you grow up, I was like, I want to be like her. I just want to be like her.
Desde
And I actually,
chiquito.
oh yeah, since I could first speak. And I wear a lot of stars to like pay her tribute, because that's her like symbol or signature
Love that.
shape, whatever. Stars are just her thing. Um, and then I also, Britney Spears is another one. Celine Dion and Lady Gaga.
Yes, that's a great list. I told you I love a good list.
Yeah,
That's amazing. Okay, and your mom's at the top. Did you guys hear that, LOLeros? Mom's at the top, no matter what,
always,
right?
always and forever.
Well, you said it. Okay, so now could we segue? Speaking of being on top, it looks like you're on top right now. Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus at midnight starring Fernando Carsa. Let's discuss. You did a movie, bro. You made a movie.
My first movie ever,
Yes.
nerve-wracking. But you know what I will say? The most exciting part about it is so the leads of the movie are Monica Barbaro from Top Gun Maverick and Diego Boneta, who we might know from the Luis Miguel series,
Wow,
the guy who
amazing.
plays Luis Miguel.
Yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah.
been following his career since he first came about. I was 4 years old.
What?
And watching him, because he was big in Mexico before he moved to the US, and then he's also huge here now. But back in the day, I used to watch him on screen, and I was 4 years old. And he was doing a lot of telenovelas, the ones that they used to do for kids. And I was like, I want to do what he does. And never in a million years did I think I would end up working with him.
That's the
So
universe.
the universe, it's first of all, thank you, God, I'm so blessed. But I remember we were filming a scene that takes place on a Jeep, like he's driving the Jeep and I'm right next to him, and we were holding for cameras. And I just looked to my left and I saw him there going over his lines. And I said, what the heck is going on? Who put me here? Who said I should be here? Who said, you like, why am I next to this man? Like, why am I working with him? I couldn't, like, to this day, when I see him, like, because we have a group chat of the movie, and whenever I see his name pop up, I'm like, like.
Wow, me emociona por ti. Like, this
Ay,
is
gracias.
really deep, and you're working with one of your like heroes.
Yes.
That doesn't happen to everyone. That's such amazing fortune, but it showcases your perseverance, your hard work, living your lifelong dream, as we're hearing, started when you were like in diapers still.
Yes.
Singing your heart out and acting, performing. So tell us, the LOLeros and I, about your experience shooting at midnight. It will be out on Paramount Plus in 2023, and we'll talk about it when it comes out. But tell us about your character and your experience. You told us a little bit, but we want to hear about what was shooting like. What were some of your craziest scenes? Tell us about your character. You know what I mean?
I don't know how much I'm allowed to disclose, but I'm just gonna disclose some things that are very general, so we won't get into trouble.
Perfecto.
Basically, my character is the lead's best friend. His name is Tachi, my character's name, and he is a queer man who wears really short shorts, which I do love.
Ow.
A lot of necklaces, paints his nails, and has curly hair,
Ow.
and believes in love a lot.
Ow.
So my whole purpose in the movie is to try to inspire my friend to give a chance at love, What's funny about it is that we film in Cancun. So let's start there. Another project that films in Mexico. The story takes place in a hotel.
No way. Like Acapulco. That's crazy.
And I'm a hotel employee.
No way. Are you serious? Are you getting typecast as hotel
I know.
employee? Like,
I know. Hotel employee, and I'm the lead's best friend. I'm like, okay, this sounds kind of familiar.
the pattern has formed, but that just means you're doing really good in your craft. So I don't know if that's a specialty, but you should make it one.
Clearly, I do it right, one. And two, I get to travel and live in like really fancy hotels for a living. So really nice room service that productions pay for. I'm down.
Yo, Fernando, not for nothing. These people must have been watching you in Acapulco and almost had the vision for their role in their movie, seeing you as Memo in Acapulco. Just saying. Because
I think
the space.
I think it helped, but also something that I did learn through this experience is that what I post on social media has impact, because I post a lot of videos of me dancing to Britney Spears, and the producer were like, what is this? What is this? Like, so I feel like they saw, like, this is amazing. So I feel like they saw it and they were like, yep, that's the kid.
Look at that. Is everybody learning this lesson? What you put out on social media is absorbed by people.
Oh, yeah.
Prospective employers. You know what I'm saying?
They look you up. Somebody's
watching. Somebody's always watching. So ten cuidado. Think twice about putting the picture that you put on OnlyFans on your Instagram. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Don't interchange the two. Just
you want to post your feet? Think about it twice.
Right, maybe put it on your story so it could disappear in 24 hours and the Hollywood producers can't see it, you know?
Yeah, put on your close friends.
Right, put on your close friends. Check your privacy settings, people, is what Fernando's telling you.
Yes, oh yeah.
I interrupted you. I'm sorry, but we're funny together. Okay, so look, continue. Tell us more about your experience doing At Midnight. Can you tell us any more?
Yes, of course. I mean, I think I can talk about my experience because when we're filming Acapulco, we have sometimes one camera or two cameras, sometimes even three cameras rolling at the same time, depending on how busy we are. But then in the movie, you have one camera, which I've never done before. So when it comes to the more technical aspect of things, I was nervous because I'm like, crap, this means that my continuity, like awareness has to be on point. But then on top of that, our director was like, I want you guys to just improvise. Like, you already know the given circumstances. Like, these are the lines that I need you to hit. Like, you need to say these lines. But besides that, go at it. So I don't even know how the movie's turning out because I don't even remember what I said.
That is so exciting. You're going to have so much fun at the premiere. Oh my gosh. It's going to be so fun because
I
then there's an
know.
element of surprise. Kudos to the director to give you that
Yes.
freedom. And you are an improviser. Obviously, they've seen you in Acapulco. Like, I imagine some of those like one liners or quick things or improv. And you are so funny
Thank
organically.
you.
Oh, wait,
Thank you.
you are portraying a queer character. Look, I don't know if it feels like this, but like whenever I see a fellow, I'm Dominican. So when I see a Dominican in entertainment, in Hollywood, on stage as an author, like I feel a certain magic that I'm like,
Mm,
wow, they're writing for us. Finally, maybe they're getting wind that this is what we look like. We don't just
mhm.
look like this, that monolith that for years we were described as. How does it feel to you? Because I know what it feels like to
It's
me, and it's
uh,
different. It's different here. It's kind of different, but kind of the same. But I want to hear your POV.
I know it's honestly it's very similar to yours, especially because I didn't graduate from college that long ago. I graduated in 2020 and I did started going to college when in the year 2015. I went to community college first. And seeing that transition of like when I first started, everyone was like, you have to lose weight, you have to get rid of the accent. Like this is what my professors were telling me. You have to lose
Ah,
weight, you have to lose the accent, you
ah,
have to do
mm,
this, you have to do that, you have to do that. And then you have other people who be like, you have to get the nose job, you have to get your teeth fixed,
ah,
all of these things. But the main thing for me was get rid of the accent and lose the weight. And that's the only way that you're gonna book. Like they were all trying to place me in these boxes and these molds that we all had to fit in order to belong in this industry and to be able to book and work. To me, it's so exciting nowadays to get all of these auditions and read the character breakdowns and see what they're looking for. And then you read the people who are involved in the projects and you see that there are Latinos, Latines, Latinx people involved in the project, writing the project, making sure that the project is authentic, real, and not a stereotype. To see that the storylines are now about love and success and finding yourself and not about drugs and violence and death. It's so uplifting and it
mm,
gives you so much hope. And honestly, it makes me feel even more grateful that I was able to get into the industry because it makes me it makes me feel blessed that I was able to come in at this period in time, but it also makes me feel really lucky that I'm becoming part of that change, of that transition, of making sure that this, movement, it is indeed happening. Um, that's why, I mean, kind of circling back to Memo, because that was my TV debut. When I read the character breakdown and when I read that Apple TV was doing a bilingual show about Mexicans, I was like, this is not real. This
mm.
is not real. Like, who's done this before? Like, especially a company of like Apple that, that's not necessarily what you associate with it.
Right.
It was so like it was sort of like, look at us, like they're finally noticing that we're making the money, so they're
Yeah,
calling us.
baby. We at the box office. We
we
showing up. So show us off, people. We here, brillando.
Yeah, they're finally like they're like, oh, people like to watch these people who are real. And I was actually having a conversation with my brother the other day and my friend Rosana, who's in the show, where I feel like audiences nowadays, I feel like TV and movies in the past were for people to like see like a utopia of what life should be, of like
Mm,
the dream life. And now what people want to see is they want to see themselves on screen,
the real. The real.
exactly,
The really
exactly,
real.
exactly, exactly. And it's like I'm so proud of be part of that of that. No, 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 don't change him. I like him that way because he looks like me and that makes me feel seen and that makes it real. That helps me believe that story that I want to get lost in is actually possible and real and it exists. So it's just so exciting. And we still have a long way to go. We're not nearly as where we should be, but estamos escalando la montaña poquito a poco. And that's what
I,
matters, that there's change.
yes. And you are a key of that. You're an instrument of that change. That must feel
Thank you.
so good. You know, This is the final question that I have, and you thought we got deep before. Oh, boo. Okay, I'm gonna finalize this because I'm getting the messages that we gotta wrap up. Um, Fernando, born in Colima, Mexico, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are little Fernanditos in Colima right now, and they're relying on you, and they're all over the world actually. But I would love to focus in on little Fernandito now that you are I mean, you're still young, but you are, you have a kick-ass career. What is some advice that you have for the future Fernanditos, the little Fernanditos, I should say, that are out there maybe wondering what they could do with their college degree, or them also seeing someone on television and being like, I want to be like that, but that's impossible, right? Like, what is some advice that you have for them?
The first one is study and train.
Mm.
That's really important. This industry can be a little cutthroat sometimes and a little hard, but um, you have to have work ethic, discipline. You have to learn to prioritize, and you have to train. You have to study, um, and you have to be respectful of other people's time and be nice to everybody. I feel like talent only goes a certain way, but everything else comes with training and work ethic. So that's very important, and that's for anyone. But most importantly, embrace yourself and love yourself and celebrate yourself and wave your pride flag really loud and out. Because what makes you different is what makes you special. And in this industry, we like to believe that this industry is filled with incredible actors, which it is, but not everyone is a great actor in our industry. I'm just being honest. A lot of times you might book something not because of your acting skills, but because of your essence. And how can you showcase your essence? By being who you truly are. And that's what people want to see, anyways. So celebrate yourself and love yourself and go and kick some butt being your wonderful self.
Like you are. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank
if you're
you.
driving, if you're sweeping, just take a pause and put your hands together for Fernando Carsa, who you can see right now on season 2 of Acapulco on Apple TV. And then also in 2023, you'll see him on Paramount Plus on in at midnight. Thank you so much for coming on the Latinos Out Loud podcast.
Thank you for
We love
having
you.
me.
We love
I
your
love you
spirit.
guys.
I love your spirit. Oh my God. If I can bottle your spirit up and put it on a shelf on a rainy day and just grab it and like spread it all over this apartment, I would.
You're
Thank
gonna
you
make
so
me
much for coming.
blush.
Pero Fernando, es la verdad, is that where
Gracias.
you light up a room, and I hope that you continue to light up many, many rooms. And I hope you come back to this Zoom room because you could talk about At Midnight when it comes out. Maybe in
I'll
2023 we could talk
I'll
about
see you in
it.
2023.
Whoop whoop! Happy Thanksgiving
Happy
and
Thanksgiving.
happy everything. Keep doing you, boo boo. You're amazing. You're
Thank you so
amazing.
much. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank What did I tell you? ¿Qué te dije? Yo te dije que sí. I told you it was going to be a good interview. Look, one thing, and I say this and I'll say it again and again and again and again till my ears are blue. I don't know if ears turn blue, but it sounded like a good phrase. Okay. I will never lead you wrong or steer you down the wrong podcast path. I promise you that. I promise. It's my duty to steer you on the right path. And I swear, te lo juro, I will always do that here on LOL. So, yo, follow Fernando Carsa. I think he's really a star to watch, people. Una estrella que está subiendo in a movie at midnight coming out on Paramount Plus in early 2023. We must have him back on the show to talk about that. And he also teased us. He told us he's working on a bunch of other stuff too. So I would love to talk to Fernando again. LOLeros, thank you so much. I mean, look, I'm very thankful for your ears. And if you're on YouTube, your ojos. Thank you for listening and watching Latinos Out Loud. Please be sure to follow us at We Are Latinos Out Loud across the socials, except Twitter, where we're Latinos Out Loud _. Yeah, we had to pay for that underscore too. You know what I'm saying? Elon Musk charging for underscores. I'm just kidding. But yeah, we're Latinos Out Loud _ on Twitter. And you can also call us at 978 Latinos. And give me a call, 978 Latinos. I'm checking that voicemail. So if you want to leave me a message, go ahead. Tell us what you think of the show. Maybe some people that you'd like to see on the show or some topics that you'd like to hear covered on the show in 2023. I'm very thankful for your contribution too. This is your podcast just as much as it is ours. Okay, guys, thank you everybody behind the scenes. Josie, August, thank you so much for all of your help. Also to Los out there, everyone at Sonoro. And happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you enjoy. Pavo, pavo. On that note, we're out.